Hi, Dyslexic Genius here, Brad Hurt. My phone number is 864-236-1680, or you can email me at dyslexicgeniushurt@gmail.com. What I'm going to talk about is the Edison Springs barrels, the dual barrel like this, and how do we get it apart. Well, getting them apart, these have an arbor inside that's connecting the two barrels together. And now we have to take one spring out, then take out the other spring. So this will be a two-part video. I'll pull the drive gear, the winding crank gear side out. Okay, because we know I'm taking the winding crank out one first. I also use my illustrious 2x4 because when the winding crank's in, we have that little pin sticking out. And that just holds it in place while we do everything. I've taken the gear off, all the screws. I've pulled out the oiling tube. There's another one on the inside here we have to remove after we get this first barrel off. What I do is I take we get everything apart. Winding crankshafts out, the gears are off, now the barrel's loose. We have to undo the tabs. And you want to come in, I have a screwdriver, it's about the width of the tab, and I just kind of bend it into the barrel and bend it out like that. Now, this should be loose.
How many tabs are there?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
So I'll show you here before we go nuts. My angel can look in. So the arbor is hooked into the middle of here.
And what is the arbor?
The arbor is a short piece of steel with two, because they have a pear shape on the spring, it's the hook for the pear shape, and the arbor is in the middle. So what we're going to do, you also have to remember, Edison has, if you can see right here where my finger is, they have this paper in the inside of your phonograph, the spring barrels, to make the springs quieter. So let's remove this one. And you're just going to go, there we go. Now, we know that this side went in counterclockwise on the gear drive side, the cranking side.
And you're going to write that down.
I'm going to write that down. You can see, right here is the arbor.
Okay.
The spring wraps around the arbor. So, get my illustrious needle nose pliers. Up here. We'll take the spring and hope it unhooks. I'm going to stick a screwdriver in. I'm going to bend the spring a little like that. And what I find out is I have a broken spring. Right there.
Oh, okay.
Crack spring. Since we're replacing the spring, there we go. You got to kind of bend them around a little to get them off the barrel. There we go. Got it unhooked. You know it goes in counterclockwise. Now I'm going to show you, my sweet angel will come in here. You see where my finger is? Right here?
Yeah.
There's a crack all the way down on the spring. So let's See if we can pull that out. You can see the crack right here.
Oh, yeah.
It's still hooked up in the middle. So we need a new spring. When you clean these, you're going to want to remove the paper. And you want to be very careful. You take your fingertip and you pull that off. And you can see where the cracked spring has been tearing up the paper. That's savable. And you'll have to do the same thing on the inside. So now we'll pull that off. There's a felt washer right here. When you take it out,
And you save all this stuff
I'll
and
save
reuse
all
it?
this.
Okay.
And when because I do so many of these spring barrels, I felt the spring wasn't tight coming out of the barrel when I emptied it into the trash can. So now you're going to take this off, because we have 3 little screws that hold everything together. Oh, there the screws are. And we're going to take this screw out. These are the same screws that hold this gear in place.
Into your magnetic bowl.
Into my magnetic bowl. And we hope the other one isn't cracked. And you take that part off. You know that this goes in here. That's the same area as on the back of this.
Okay.
They're interchangeable on these. So now what we're going to do, we're going to take the screwdriver and we're going to bend that one.
Open
Bend
the
that one.
tabs.
You hit them in the middle with a screwdriver. And watch this, right? Here we go. What I'm trying to do is to get the lid off. There we go. Now you see I have this. Now what we're going to do is we're going to hold the top of this. And that one goes in clockwise. But I will show you how to pack them. Since we had a broken spring on that side, let's take a look at it. You see how this looks a lot better? We don't see any cracking in here. So this spring is good. You don't have to change both springs. The old days, they would say, if you had a broken spring, change both springs. Nowadays, springs are becoming hard to find, so I would use this one again. To get this apart, problem is, the spring tightens around the arbor over years of work. And now it doesn't want to unhook from the arbor. So what I do usually is just stick a screwdriver in here and give it a bend, trying to open it up a little, like that. Now, you see how I've bent it open to get it out, because you can't get it over the little nipple thing. So we'll have that. I'll just add it.
Well, you never said it was easy.
No, this is why I bend them a little. It's because you have to get the springs wrapped tightly around this. So now you can't back it off.
Now, is there paper in this one too?
There's paper in this one too. We'll take that off gently. And there's the felt. They're all the same. This is a lot of fun, and this is how you get a dual barrel, spring barrel Edison Diamond Disc apart. And that's my tip for the day.